Hello guys, welcome to my build guide for PvP as a rogue. Um, I recorded the footage before the season of the Malignant came out, but the guide is still the same because I just offer you an insight in what I think in PvP in Diablo 4 is viable and good. So I hope you enjoy it and let me know in the comments if you have different thoughts. I actually wanted to start a discussion to if there's even a player base who wants to PvP in this game, because PvP in this game is really weird, because you can practically only start at level 100 even if you're a group of players who are like 70 to 80 or 80 to 90. Like a level 100 character will completely kill you because he can actually spec into the full PvP Paragon. That's what I did. Before we start, I'm going to go over the abilities I use. Then I'm going to go over my gear and the specialization, and maybe a little bit into the Paragon, but I don't want the video to be too long. So first of all, let's get into the abilities. I'm playing the Twisted Blade Rogue, as you can see when I actually show you. I play the classic twisting blades with some twists in it. First of all, I go one in puncture, one in enhanced puncture, and one in fundamental puncture, just to get the vulnerability, because I'm not using the vulnerability glyph glove, exploit glyph in the Paragonboard, and it's much more constant to get them vulnerable. We need them vulnerable because it's just you do more damage. Point. We get the energy from this. I got twisting blade, enhanced twisting blades, and improved twisting blades. Not advanced, not advanced twisting blades. I think you can do it too, but I don't need it really. And dazed, I think CC is in general just better in PvP. So we got them dazed here, 3 points in sturdy, 3 points in siphoning for the healing and the damage reduction from close, 3 points in weapon mastery, because I'm using a dagger and a sword, so you get 9% increased damage and 50 increased damage to healthy. Damage to healthy I think is very good, because most of the players you play against have barriers on. The mage, the druid and the barb will have barriers on. They will be healthy all the time, so to get through the barrier you just have 50% more damage. I think it's very good. I go Shadow Step, Enhanced Shadow Step and Methodical Shadow Step just for more CC. You will see why we get why we use the CC and the stun. We have the more crit chance, and we just have, as you can see, 2 charges, so 2 times the unstoppable to get out of CC, 2 times the gap close between you and the enemy, and 2 times the stun, so effectively a 4.6 second stun. I go 1 in Rugged just to get... actually the Rugged is pretty good in PvP because all damage over time effects are 20% buffed. So actually I can... I'm thinking about just putting 3 here too, because some rogues use poison imbuement very hardly and you just like they drain your life. Reactive defense, 18% damage while inflicted with cone repairing effect is just very good, the damage reduction, and I will show you in my gear why I have it in here, but in general it's very good. I go 1 in rapid gaming just so we can get the trick attacks. When you critical strike a dazed enemy, they are knocked down for 1.5 seconds. That's just very good. We go with the improved twisting blades to daze them, and there is, like, when they are dazed they even get CC'd more. Just good, in my opinion. 1 point in agile just to get the mending obscurity. 3 points in mending obscurity for a 9% max life when you're in stealth per second. And we play with concealment. That's the only reason I even use this, because the concealment is is insane. I think in PvP, first of all, you are you're actually concealed, so nobody can see you. You are unstoppable too, so you have another way out of going out of CC, crowd control. If somebody would ask, we get movement speed here, and we get energy with enhanced stealth when we get conceal, when we press it, and countering stealth. We get a guaranteed crit when we go out of with the spell. We go out of the stealth. Like, yes, I think you understand what I mean, even if I'm not speaking good English. 3 points in exploit for the damage against healthy again, and injured. It's just good, in my opinion. Malice, 3 points for the vulnerable damage. Then we go into all the imbuement skills. I use poison imbuement, and I don't use any other point here because I don't think I need it, because I'm not like sure you get 20% more damage over time effects, but if I would use the poisoning trap, I would actually do a trap build, but I didn't want to do the trap build because a trap build is heavily dependent on that the enemy actually is going into the trap. So there's another like gamble in it. I don't want to gamble in PvP. I want to have full agency in my build. So I just use it to get 1 point in Deadly Venom and 3 point in Debilitating Toxin, 3 ranks, so I get the 15% less damage in general against the enemies. Sure, the damage, the poison damage is just good overall because we also get the 20% in PvP on top of everything. So you have 120 base damage, poisoning damage, but I just want the damage reduction against the enemies because they will be hitting hard, especially when they are bobs with how's it called, Hammer of the Ancient or something. They just one shot the shit out of you. We got because I am using here the Penitent Greaves. You'll with like the unique boots, if you don't have them, like when you're 100, you probably have any roll of this. Maybe you should farm it. It's very, very good. It's like the best in slot for rogues in general, because you're always on top. If you're a melee rogue, you're always on top of the enemies, so you chill them. You get straight up 7% damage increase. It's just flat 7% damage, and chill is also counts as crowd control. Now I just go into Frigid Finesse passive for 15% damage overall. On top of that, we don't even need the 30% against frozen. When will they be frozen? I don't have an idea. I go 3 ranks in chilling weight, because you can actually kite enemies and kite the mobs, what is pretty important when you I will go in it when we see the my gear, but it will be important. Then I go Shadow Clone, because like we have Shadow Clone is just flat out more damage on one target, even more with our Twisting Blades. Even I think, but the Twisting Blades are not like I don't even know if the Shadow Clone, if you right click, he put the Twisting Blades in, if his Twisting Blades also come back, or it's just the right click damage. It doesn't matter, it's just strong. 80% here, plus with Prime Shadow Clone you'll be unstoppable. Another point where you can break out CC of another rogue especially, and sorcerer. Then Supreme Shadow Clone, just for the additional 20% damage, I think. Then you're on 100% damage. So the clone is doing actually the same amount of damage you are. Now we get to the key passive. The key passive is depends on what you want to do. You can with this build you can also go close quarter combat for the 30% increased damage against crowd control. I used it, but it didn't feel right, because you can do it, because the 30% you will always have 30% more damage, because you're always CCing with this build, because you have the Penitent Greaves. But I use the Momentum just because I get the 20% increased damage reduction. Just flat out, it's just huge. Plus, the energy regeneration and the movement speed are just good too, because if you have more energy, you can do more damage, because you have more right clicks, more twisting blades. But yes, you can decide here. Let's go to my specialization. I use the combo points. You can use the combo points. I use it because I have another unique, the condemnation. Your core skill damage deals 20 to 40% increased damage when spending 3 combo points. Your basic skills using this weapon have a 30% chance to generate 3 combo points. If you don't have the weapon, you can just actually go the preparation. I used it too, it's very good. Every 100 energy you spend reduces your ultimate skill's cooldown by 4 seconds. Using your ultimate skill resets the cooldown of your other skills. If you don't use combo points, you will burn through your energy very much, because you're right clicking the shit out of the enemy because of the twisting blades. So you will be resetting your ultimate's cooldown very often, because it's a long cooldown, 45 seconds. And also, when you press it, you reset all these cooldowns, and that means 2 unstoppable here plus 1. You have 3 unstoppables on top of your already 3 plus 1 unstoppable on the Shadow Clone. So you have 7 skill that make you unstoppable consecutive. So that is just huge. But I'm using combo points for more burst damage. Also, I use the dagger here. You can use 2 daggers. I think it's even better in PvP than 2 swords, because you get the 30% damage, because when you right click you put both of your daggers inside of the enemy. 30% damage in general boost from the weapon mastery passive, 15% per dagger against healthy, and as I said, there are many people who use barriers. In general, I use defensive stats on my helm, my chest armor, and my pants. As you can see, you take 15 to 25% less damage from crowd control enemies. I think it's just really you need it because you will got one shot. Then here you gain the 50% more armor when you do any kind of damage. It's just to not get one shot. And here basic skills I can't speak, grant 20% damage reduction for 5.5 seconds in this case. It's just, in my opinion, mandatory. Then here you can use whatever you like. Increase enemies with a basic skill, increase the damage of your next core skill cast by 10%, up to 30. I used it here. Then here you are, if you don't have the boots, you can put what I put on the amulet, like the additional charge to your shadow step just on the boots, because then you can put something I have here, here on my legendary ring, with the skills deal up to 20% increased damage based on your available primary resource. When you put it on the amulet, it will be 50% stronger. But this additional charge to shadow step you can only imprint in amulets and boots, and I have a unique, so I have to put it there. Then I put basic skill attack speed, because I want the attack speed and the combo points as fast as possible. This just for more burst damage in the first when I first go in. I talked about this one. This I think is very good. It's just like I use it because I think it's we use stealth, so I think it's very good to just use when you break stealth with an attack, you drop a cluster of exploding stun grenades around your location that deals blah 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 total physical damage, doesn't matter, and stuns enemies for 0.5 seconds. I think every kind of CC is OP in PvP, so I use it here, and of course the twisting blades here. Let's go to the Paragonboard. I will be quick here because first of all, it's all over the place. I could even use another Paragonboard board if I wanted to. This is just like yesterday I sat down, or 2 days ago I sat down and did it. I will just go over the boards and the glyphs. Here the first board, I take the 20% damage and max life with a glyph of closer for the cutthroat damage. You get the most dexterity here, I think, so I use it here to get my twisting blades much stronger. I go both sides here for damage, flat damage, dex and armor and dex. The next board will be the board tricks of the trade, because it's just strong, especially when you use combo points to get 25% increased damage when you use a marksman skill for your next cutthroat skill, and vice versa. Here I go to damage to close enemies, because they will always be close, and the damage reduction. I don't use the glyph here because I don't need the damage to elites, because players in my understanding are not elites. I get the armor here. We go to the next board. The next board will be Cunning Stratagem. I actually don't know why I use it right now. It's better if, because I get the 30%, I think 33% on my right click, not on the damage, but on the damage reduction I think I get from my poison imbuement. I think that's what I thought about it. I don't even know if it works. You can just don't use it, because I don't even want this. 8% resistance to all elements is fucking useless. Sorry for my swearing. I think is very good. You get the diminish glyph, just so I get more armor and dex and more core skill damage again for more damage on Twisting Blade. Then I use this one. It was just like I didn't know where to put it, and I get 10% more damage, and the basic skill damage is also just good. It's just good in PvP, because you will be using them. Then you go to Dominant, more core skill damage, and the basic skill damage I don't care about. Let's go to the another board. The another board will be No Witnesses, I think. Very, 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 very strong, because we are using an ultimate skill. Your ultimate skill deals 30% increased damage and grants you 10% increased damage for 20 seconds when cast. It's just a 10% damage increase for the encounter with the another player, and 30% on top of the 100% your clone is doing. So your clone is actually technically doing 130%, so 30% more than you. I wanted this board for these two especially, and this. I didn't go this way because I don't need to execute non-elites, even if I think non-elites are players. So it could be actually good, because you have a 20% chance to just kill them, straight up execute them when they're, I think, not healthy. Not healthy, but under 35%, I think, health. I go with training for just flat max life. I think maximum life is good. This one here, I think, is very good in PvP, because we reduce the duration of control impairing effects. I think it's just very, very good, and damage taken over time reduction is actually in PvP also just good, because the buff of it. Here I just go knowledge, flat out more damage and crit damage. Here the rune I didn't go here. You can also go this path, but I wanted this one for sure. 50% damage, more damage to healthy. As I said, there will be barriers. We go to the another one. I didn't really see any other board that it will help me, in my opinion, really. We go with Leirana's Instinct. We don't need it, but I saw I get another 10% flat damage increase and attack speed here. So I take it. Here 5% damage 2 and 5% damage 2, and I wanted to use another glyph because I am using the Penitent Glyphs. I hope I pronounce it right. The glyph control. The glyph control is used by mages, but when you have the Penitent Glyph, you always are chilling the enemies, so you're always seeing them when you're on top of them. So I wanted to put it out, get the 25%, you deal 10% increased damage to slowed or chilled enemies, we chill them, and on top of that we get 74% damage to crowd and percent damage to crowd controlled enemies. Yes, that's actually everything I have for this video. I think Inner is the worst for specialization for PvP, but makes sense to you, I think. If you want, you can look look at my stats. You can pause if yes. If you think there is something you want to see, how I play, I even have like a low movement speed. This is like not specifically farmed for PvP, just the imprints are like kind of for PvP, but mostly my PvP gear, PvE gear, how I like leveled to 100. So yes, I farm pretty good of the red dust. I have 68,000. Like in 1 hour you can get like over 180,000 of this shit. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it or learned something, and I hope you can help me learn more about the PvP or in general Diablo 4. If you have any thoughts on what my build or what you build as a rogue, or in general what you build in PvP, or do you even play PvP, which class do you play PvP, and what do you think is OP in PvP, let me know in the comments below. And peace out. I think so. Bye bye.